Alright, I've spent the past few days getting this class-based interface to OpenGL working. Currently, I have it developed to the point where there's a point generator and there are buffer objects, and these buffer objects will hold the points that go to the GPU, also colors, and any uniform variables that are associated with the shader that is for that buffer. It's organized as a separate class with standard fragment shaders and vertex shaders, but you can obviously add some more. I have it as arguments in the initialization, but in the point generator I just have all the code from the previous versions of this project that was just to generate the geometry for the different test cases of of everything, and so it's got a lot of capabilities. So here I'm getting a sphere. This uses a recursive algorithm to subdivide. This is the offset value, which is roughly equivalent to the radius. Yeah, and then there's the subdivision, which with a level 0 subdivision, that means that it's a cube. The way this algorithm works is it splits the square faces of that cube into smaller squares, and then pushes all the vertices of that out to like a normalized amount times this. So a sphere with radius 5, right, made out of quadrilaterals. And then you divide those at the base case. You divide those into 2 triangles, and then you append those to the color and point arrays. It can be rendered as points if you want to. Also, there's nothing stopping that. It's just it's going to be overwriting itself, not overwriting, but it's going to be drawing like 3 or 4 points at the same location. Okay, but then this point generator can be reused. This reset function clears the arrays. Basically resets everything as if it was just initialized here. Then it declares another thing here, which is rendering with lines. This first one's being rendered with triangles, and then this last one is using the default points, but it's one of the seeded blocks from before, with a resolution of 32 by 32 by 32, and the minimum extent is 0.0. The maximum extent is 0.5. Now the cool thing about that is it's going to show you a quarter, because the way, well, it's easier to show you because I'm using a specific seed to do this, to show off this particular thing. So I'm going to run it. I'll show you. Okay. Here's this sphere with 0 levels of subdivision, aka a cube. Now, depth testing and alpha blending are both working now. It's I was just enabling them in the wrong part of my my glut initialization. I had to do it later after the context was set up. But it's working now. I've got several buffers at the same time working. they're all separate, being controlled with different variables. Um, and this is all declared within this much code, down to here. It's and the rest that can be done as many times as I need to. If I want to subdivide that more, I can do so. Say 3 times. That'll split the face into squares, and then split it into squares, and split it into squares, right? So it'll be whatever 64 squares on that face now, and all the vertices are pushed out to the surface of the sphere. So that's how that works. It leaves some interesting little shapes, but I mean it's a pretty good approximation of a sphere. And this is the same thing, just rendered with lines. So my favorite is this. To be honest, I really like this chunky, like volumetric representation of things. I think it's it's really really cool. And I want to do more with that because I really like it. But so yeah, that's where things are right now. Really pleased with the progress that I've been making. It's coming along really well.